When looking for a lightweight rig, I ended up going with the GT Lite behind me from Next Level Racing. This was my choice because you could stow it away, fold it in on itself pretty easily. There is also a more formula version of this, the F GT Lite, if you're more into that. But this is easy to stow away, really lightweight, and one benefit that I didn't really think about at the time of purchase is that it's so lightweight and easy to tote around that I've actually taken it to friends and family's places, set it up so they can get a feel for what this hobby is all about. So that's pretty cool. But when you look into it, you really see a lot of people saying, don't put anything very powerful on this. People really push you away from putting direct drive bases. I thought that was kind of bullshit. So I've been using this. This is the Fanatec CSL DD Pro. I guess technically it's basically a CSL DD. And I've been having a blast. Just to make sure that we're on the same page, I think regardless of what you're mounting on a rig like this, you're always going to have some amount of flex. It's not a fully rigid setup. Don't expect it to be fully rigid. So if you are driving, at least for me, when I'm driving with this GT DD Pro, even with the boost kit, which brings this up to 8 Newton meters of torque, I'm having a blast. I don't really notice it because I'm immersed. I'm paying attention to the game. I don't really feel anything crazy. Even with a load cell brake pedal, having a ton of fun. If you're spectating somebody else driving though, that's when it becomes more apparent that there is a little bit of flex here and there. As long as your expectations are realistic, you're gonna have a good experience. So if you have a smaller direct drive unit like a GT DD Pro, CSL DD, Moza R9, you are gonna have a blast. Don't be pushed away. Now specifically for the GT DD Pro and CSL DD, you can mount it directly onto the plate, but for me, I ended up making this adapter to give me a little bit more steering angle choice. This gives me about 8 extra degrees. It took me a few iterations to finally land on this design. This uses the T-nuts, and I'll have a link down below with specifics on what you're gonna need to build this thing. The main thing is if you're printing it at the end, you're absolutely going to want to put some foam. I used some tray liner foam. I'll have it linked below, the exact one that I used, which I really liked. That one I just super glued on the top and bottom, cut it to size, and that helped immensely. This thing feels super locked in once you have all the bolts kind of snugged up. Obviously, this is a 3D print. Don't go too crazy with it, but I love it. The only other mod that I've done, which will work for any wheelbase that you're using, is changing out the straps. Both the strap that you use to put tension on the left side, as well as the strap that I use to, actually wrap it all together once I'm putting it away. I swapped both of those out for cam jam tie downs from Night Eyes. Really love those. It feels amazing. It feels a lot better, especially the one I'm using the tension. The Velcro, in my opinion, just felt and looked kind of cheap. So swapping that out for something a lot more robust makes a huge difference. You can tie it down a little bit more securely, and it just looks a hell of a lot better. And for those of you wondering how the hell I got an H pattern and an e-brake mounted onto the same little side unit, not a whole lot I can tell you other than it's just a couple of plates that I had for miscellaneous camera gear that I'm using in a weird setup to get it all mounted using a bunch of different size screws. Can't give you a whole lot of direction, but if you're creative, you can make it happen. I really like this setup because, again, I can just easily pop it off, fold it up, and take it wherever I need. That about wraps it up. I just wanted to make sure that this was out there. Yes, these sort of setups can definitely work, and they've been working pretty well for me for, I don't know, it's been pretty close to a year at this point. It took me a while to finally get to the evolution that I'm at now with the adapter. Again, the adapter, everything pretty much I mentioned is going to be linked down in the description below. If you have any questions about any of the stuff, I'm sure there's going to be some specifics. Leave them down in the comments, and I'm going to do my best to respond there. Other than that, if you liked it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for potentially more content like this. Thanks for watching. See ya.